Well, we were just talking to a business that's leaving Virginia, and I said, Michigan's a great place. They said, yeah, Michigan's not on our list. You heard that just in the last hour here on the program. I'm like, why? Not friendly to business. He's looking at Texas and Florida and other places to move. It's a brewery, a pretty good sized brewery, and they're leaving Virginia because they don't like the business atmosphere there, and they're going somewhere else. They're not considering us, and that is all too common, and man, it's disheartening. Brian Calley is the president and CEO of the Small Business Association of Michigan, SBAM. Brian, nice to have you back on the program.
Great to be with you, Steve.
Unfortunately, that story that I just shared with you is something I hear all too often. We don't have an attractive business environment. As a result, entrepreneurship in your scorecard shows Michigan losing its edge in new business opportunities, isn't it?
We were at 20 years ago, we were at the bottom of the barrel. We did make some progress, but then kind of got stuck. And then over the last few years have started to fall back. And part of that is due to policy decisions that have been made. We saw the repeal of right to work. We saw very complicated prevailing wage laws come back. Those are the types of laws that really make it difficult for entrepreneurs to have a fair shake at operating in Michigan. So I'm not surprised, given some of the policy decisions that have been made. But also, there are a few bright spots in it too. I mean, entrepreneurs, people, are homegrown entrepreneurs here in the state. They are tough. They are resilient, and we do see them doing some really exciting things still. I just really hope that our government doesn't mess it up by continuing to go after independent contractors. That is one of the brightest of bright spots, is that
Yeah.
independent contractors, just a single person going out there and starting a business. There are some really awesome things happening in our state with respect to independent contractors and sole proprietors. I really hope the government doesn't stand in their way.
It'd be nice if we could get some tax policy that was friendly to business as well. Look, people are going to Tennessee and Florida and elsewhere, New Hampshire now because there's no personal income tax. That all plays into it. But we also have an infrastructure problem in Michigan. I mean, the governor that we have currently said she was going to fix the damn roads. Well, now they're talking about raising tax again. She wants to, apparently, to fix the roads that have been. I don't think even the people that voted to fix the roads thought it would be 1.5% of road miles a year. We have infrastructure issues. It's not just, some of the policy, but we have some systemic issues, Brian, that we've got to fix here. We really do.
We do, and I think the tax policy one is an important one to zero in on because it has been proposed to increase business taxes, and there was actually an individual income tax increase, a personal income tax increase a few years ago as well. The rate was supposed to go down, it temporarily went down, and then administratively it was increased back up in a very, very questionable way. That individual income tax, a personal income tax rate in Michigan, that's the main business tax for small businesses. Most are
Right.
pass-through companies, and every time the folks in the government often look at it like it's just a little more. They add one more regulation. They say it's just a little more, but it's a little more on top of 1,000 other things and 1,000 other expenses that these entrepreneurs have to deal with on a regular basis. Oftentimes, when people ask, "What's the best thing you can do to help small businesses?" my answer is to get out of their way. Just get out of their way of success. Get out from in between the employer-employee relationship. That is a sacred relationship in small businesses. The
Right.
government needs to minimize its involvement, interference there. That the best thing the government can do right now is to aid in decreasing costs, is to reduce regulations and get out of the way of the success of the entrepreneurs.
Well, when you were lieutenant governor, the last year of the Snyder administration, where you were the lieutenant governor, I think that the budget was about $55, $56 billion, if memory serves. It's $30 billion higher now. It's gone up $30 billion. I look at the state of Pennsylvania. They're running that state for less than $50 billion currently, if the current numbers that I'm reading online are accurate, and I believe they are. What are we doing with all this money? That's something else because you have to make that up, and you put on regulation and taxes, and it's not a good environment to start a company. What are we doing?
There, the best thing that we can do right now for our small businesses is to is to look at every single, remember when we started in the Snyder administration, we said every time if you add a regulation, you got to take one off. The
Right.
record at the end of the day, though, for every one that was added, 7 were removed. That was the record. And you did see some great economic outcomes that come from that. Here in Michigan, in the last, well, just in February, the most expensive paid sick leave mandated benefit in the entire country of all 50 states. Michigan is now the most expensive state with respect to leave mandates from the government. Those sort are the sorts of things that say to entrepreneurs it's too risky to expand, and unfortunately that's what we see happening with employment is people are starting to really pull back and say maybe now is not the best time to do that. And these are subtle changes that are being made, but they're being made in every community, in every industry, in every size business across the state. And those are the sorts of things that can get you over time. If you look at our unemployment rate in Michigan over the course of the last year, there was no single month where it had some sort of big jump, but it is month after month creeping upward more
Yeah.
and more and more and more now for over a year. And over time it adds up. These sorts of trends are even more dangerous than dramatic trends, because there isn't some big single cataclysmic event. It just erodes over time.
Yeah. Michigan and Nevada once again hold that that distinction of being in the worst shape of any states in America when it comes to the economy. We're always, when a recession comes, Michigan and Nevada take it worse. It hasn't gotten any better. Brian Calley, always appreciate the work you do. We do need to correct it. I don't know what the answers are, but it starts with a midterm election. We'll see what happens there. Thank you for being here today.
Thanks, Steve. Great to be with you.
Yeah, always good to have you. Brian Calley, former lieutenant governor. How did we go up $30 more billion in 6 years? What did you get out of it? Anything? We used to be a wealthy state. Michigan is now a poor state. That's really unfortunate. We'll be right back.